know that in advance, if you know in advance that you want to send people to the EU, for example, for knowledge sharing, let's say you have an headquarters in the US and you want to have people share the knowledge that's available within the headquarters with the entities that are in Europe. You are able, if you plan ahead, to decide to just send one person to one country where they will be staying longest, and then have that person travel to all the other entities within the EU based on their mobility rights that they have with that specific type of permit, instead of sending, for example, 3 different people to 3 different locations. You cannot do that if you only reach out to your immigration provider the moment you have already selected your people, because at that point in time, we go to your immigration provider can look at the options for those 3 different people, but will not be at that point in time. You are too late to say, okay, well, just send this one person, because you might have already made an offer to that other person, right? So it's so important to really put immigration as one of the first things you're talking about internally when you're planning any kind of assignment or foreign national hire, because it will direct what you are able to do.
But it's also about not making assumptions. You know, one of the things that we've said here is that the European Union is a socio-political collaboration and union of member states, but there is something called the EU ICT, which will give you some mobility rights as a third country national going into a country and being able to move around some of those member states. So it's about as much lead time as possible and removing all assumptions that it's going to be about that particular country or about the EU. Get to the experts quickly and figure out what the best option for your desired result is going to be. Now, that could be 3 people in 3 different parts of Europe. It could be 1 person traveling around. Could be actually in country A, there's this nuance that you might need to do something else. But all of those things are going to be different person by person as well. We'll start to see trends, and you'll start to develop which type of people you'll be able to send, but there'll always be that personal element. So the removal of assumptions, I think, is the second lesson. You know, start as early as you can and don't play into any assumption as to what's going to happen. Use expertise wisely.